My name is Lori Johnson, and I am the District Outreach Coordinator for South Texas District for Texas Veterans Commission, Veterans Employment Services. So, what we do is we assist our veterans in South Texas with employment. So, job readiness, we have a team that assists our veterans with becoming job ready. Now, when I say veterans, I am referring to veterans as transitioning service members, um, family members of veterans. So, when I do say veterans, I do mean everyone. Okay. So we do have a team that will assist veterans with becoming job ready, resumes, job searching. And then we have our wonderful veteran employer liaisons like James and Mark that work with our employers. So they make connections with employers, and today they would love to showcase Nueces Electric Cooperative, the opportunities they have, their apprenticeship program. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking and turn this over to James. James, if you go ahead and unmic yourself, and I'll go ahead and turn this on over to you. And thank you again, James.
All right. Thank you, Lori. Thank you. And once again, it's outstanding that we have a great employer that was volunteered themselves to be part of this employer showcase. And my name is James Wilson. As Lori said, I am a veteran employer liaison for the Corpus Christi area here in Texas. And just real quick, I'm just so excited to have these employers come on board and showcase what their company is about. I find this company crucial in our community, and considering what they do, it's I find it very interesting. I do want to say I want to just real quick on how I met Joanna. I met her at the 2020 Red, White, and You event. So I kept in touch with her and reconnected after the COVID, hit. And so with us all working from home, I reconnected with her, which is outstanding. And once again, she volunteered herself along with Manuel to showcase her company. But before I go into it a little bit further, I'm going to have Mark introduce himself. Mark?
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to say welcome to the Nueces and Electric Cooperative Employer Showcase. This is very exciting. I'm a big fan of everything that y'all do. Linemen, I'm very passionate about, and the opportunities that y'all are about to speak to us about, I think a lot of people will get a lot of benefit from. So I know that we just had a couple of people that just entered the room that are very, very interested in hearing about your positions. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and give right back to you, James, and we can proceed on.
All right. Thank you, Mark. And I'm going to turn it over to the subject matters expert, Joanna.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Lori. First, we just want to say thank you so much for allowing us to be here today with you all and for allowing us to showcase our cooperative in a different light. We have some information we'd really like to share with you about our cooperative, our company, what we do as a whole, and who we are in our communities and the members that we serve. So I am actually going to share my screen in just a moment. I have a short presentation for you, won't be too boring. And then after that, I'll go ahead and I will pass it on to Manuel. And he's going to share some information and really shed some light as far as, the job itself, the challenges, the also the rewards as well, because this industry is very challenging at times, but I will tell you the end result and the end reward is just outstanding. So give me one moment. I will say though beforehand, if you see my screen every so often kind of blink out, it's very short, but I'm working on replacing a cable on my computer, so they'll give it to me soon. So give me 1 second. Okay, can you all see my screen? Okay, great. And if at any point in time I start to sound like a robot, somebody let me know. I'll probably have to get in and out. With Teams and technology nowadays, you never know how it's going to go. So first off, this is a picture of Nueces Electric Cooperative, just to kind of give you a little bit of an idea as to what our building looks like. We are located here in right on the borderline between Robstown and Calallen, but essentially we are Calallen. We're right here, a little bit southeast of, or southwest, I'm sorry, of Corpus Christi. We were established in 1938. Been here for 80 plus years already, serving the communities that we're in. So a little bit about Nueces. This is our mission statement. The mission of Nueces Electric Cooperative, we are a member-owned co-op, is to help our members continually improve their quality of life by providing reliable and cost-effective electric services in a culture where safety is priority. And us, we're very big on safety. We really do practice what we preach because we are constantly reminding not only our employees, but our members about being safe around electricity, especially so. So I know for some of you, you think, what is a cooperative? I think we've all heard of the bigger companies around our area, or maybe in your area where you have the bigger electric utilities. In our area, we see AEP rolling out. Well, we are Nueces Electric Cooperative. So in 1930, way back when, there was only a very small percentage of people out in the rural areas who actually had electric power. So it really wasn't profitable for big IOUs or investor-owned utilities, such as AEP, I guess you could say, to really build that line in this area because for them it just wasn't profitable. So a few years later, got everything going. It was brought to light. They said, hey, let's start co-ops in this area. So a lot of people nationwide started doing that in the rural and the farm communities. They established their own communities, their own cooperatives, and they started to develop more and more so. So the Rural Electrification Act on May 11th of 1935 really set that into play. And so at that point, you started to see them pop up, here and there, and they are still continuously to this day building themselves up so as well. So a co-op, we are different in a lot of ways than the bigger owned utility industries. We are for our members, we are about our members, and we will constantly serve our members. And that's exactly what we're here for. So I know there's a lot of verbiage here on the screen. I'll go over it briefly. I know everyone can be death by PowerPoint a lot of times, but other than just giving you some information, we're actually very rare in our industry because in 2005, we voluntarily deregulated, meaning we went ahead and we kind of broke off a little piece of our co-op and we kind of dumped them and shot them over into the electric choice market. So we're kind of profiting between a co-op and then also a retail choice market is what we have. So we have a subsidiary for that. So it's very rare in our community or in our co-op world, actually. We were the very first. And so even when we go to big area conferences, people always say, you're Nueces, and everybody knows this. We've had people from Alaska, New York, and like really big counties or bigger estates, and they always remember us because we're the very first and, nationwide, over 930 co-ops that there are nationwide to be deregulated. So it's a really big thing in our community and in our area. One of the major things about our co-op is in 2008, we were granted a $50 million Navy contract to build and maintain the power lines at both the NASCC and NASK, so Corpus Christi and Naval Air Station Kingsville. So we actually built and maintained those power lines in both areas. Manuel was actually just there, I believe, as well this morning too, just got back a little while ago. We have to maintain the infrastructure there. It was the very first Navy contract that was awarded to an electric co-op in the nation. So again, another big landmark for us. So we were at a twofer at that point. We have been proud to participate in a number of activities. We participate yearly and sponsor a lot to Wings Over South Texas and to different functions and areas that the bases have, where we have a really good relationship with them. And as Manuel was there earlier, we have a lot of working projects that we work on, and we have a really good professional relationship and community-wise as well. We are a really good community partner. We are involved in so many different things in our area. Livestock shows, any type of community events, any type of career events, we're also participating and going to. We give safety presentations. We have field trips where we bring in the schools that are on our lines and out in the rural communities. They come in for a full day and have a full-on field trip, and they get to meet our linemen and watch some of them in action, and they have a lot of fun stuff that we do, and we really try to educate our members about electricity, about the utility industry, about how to read your power bill, and a number of things. So there's a lot that we can actually contribute to our community, which we do, that maybe a lot of people may not be aware of. So again, giving back to the community is the co-op way. So for some of you that may be unfamiliar with us or where we're located, we actually serve these territories and these districts. So the 8 territories that we serve are Nueces County, Jim Wells County, Claiborne County, Kennedy County, Duval, Live Oak, McMullen, and Brooks. So if you look, you'll see that's where all of our territory is. Now, the thing with these is that we don't service the city limits. So we're more on the county and the rural areas. So where I live personally is in Kingsville. Nueces does not serve, inside the city limits. But the moment you hit that county line, or the moment you hit outside of that city limit, that's where NEC takes over. So it's a real proud moment when you're going from one, mile to the next, and you go from AEP territory to NEC. It's just proud for us. I know when I'm driving on the highway and I see our trucks are rolling out going southbound while I'm coming up northbound, it's my favorite part of my morning and my week. And, every day that I get to see our trucks roll out. So just in case you weren't familiar, this is exactly where we're located at. Right here is pretty much where we're at. If you're not from here around the area, this is kind of where we're at. So we have different office locations. We're not just, in one centralized hub, although we are here located in Robstown, Calallen. I am going to say Calallen because that's exactly where we're at. Again, we're right on that borderline, but we are here located in Calallen. We have a headquarters office here where we're located at. We have another service center out in Benbow, Orange Grove, Ricardo, and our retail energy division is actually located in Corpus Christi within the city limits off of Saratoga. So if you've never been that way, and if you start looking now, you'll definitely see it. But it's not just one office we have a few outer offices as well. So I know the most interesting part as to what everybody's waiting for is how to apply and what our application process looks like. So for our co-op, we pretty much we're an electric utility, of course. We have a lot of our office staff, of course, and then we have our field staff as well. Our field staff consists of our journey line workers, apprentices. We have a metering department. We have engineers, our staking and design technicians. Our IT people, our IT employees actually go out into the field and do some work as well at times. And then we have dispatchers, and we have member care representatives and people who deal with our customers and serve our members all day long. So there's so many different functions and aspects to our co-op. But one of the things I wanted to go over with you right now is how to look for available positions here at our co-op, and maybe something that might, pique your interest or you may be interested in, and what you need to do to apply or how you need to find us. So one of the main things is, www.nueceselectric.org. That right there is our website. You're always more than welcome to look at our website. You hit the bottom and just go to employment or careers, and it'll bring up all our open positions. So as of this morning, we have 3 positions that are currently open. I will say we just extended an offer, so it'll go down to 2, which are both the journey line workers. For the application, once you submit, and you get onto our website, or if you go to Indeed, because our job applications are pushed to so many different job boards. They go through the Texas Workforce Commission, they go through Indeed, Facebook, LinkedIn. I mean, there are so many ways that you can definitely find us or locate us. But I will say, most importantly, definitely just check out our website, www.nueceselectric.org. So when you're looking at a job that may interest you and you want to submit your application, you definitely want to hit apply, of course, whatever route you're going to. And it's going to bring you to our website either way, and it takes you to a job portal. So with that, you're going to want to submit your application. And it's just like a lot of others when you go online and you submit your application. Put in all your basic information. You're going to upload your resume and look at it. But you also want to look at the positions and see what the requirements are. Maybe some of the skills, the knowledge that that it's requiring, maybe compared to some of what you have. And if you think, hey, you know what, this is a really good shot that I have, I meet up, I match up with a lot of their skill requirements, or, education or professional career history, work history, whatever the case may be. You definitely want to make it match and, really kind of catch our attention. I will say we do go through almost every single application thoroughly. We do look through everything. We look at your education. Maybe you forgot to put something in your employment history. We'll compare it to your resume. But I will say the best way to really grab our attention is to make sure that all your information is accurate on the employment status, like your current employment, your previous employment, and then also to, in just the regular basic job application questions. So for the example, for a journey line worker is somebody who's, and there it went, is someone who's already been exposed to the industry. They've gone through the training. They have years of experience behind them. So these are some of the job requirements for a journey line worker. Definitely want a high school diploma or any type of equivalency. For a journey line worker, you do have to have your Class A CDL. You need at least 3 to 5 years of experience as, being a journey lineman or a journey line worker. And as it says, with skill in construction and maintenance of the electric distribution system. So we actually maintain the distribution of the power. So that's what you see linemen up on the poles, or they're working on transformers, or they've got the bucket trucks and they're working up and about. That's exactly what they're doing. We also do require a Department of Labor certification, or if you have maybe years and years of experience but don't have that certification, we'll put you through a refresher course, and we'll take care of everything. We'll have you do some book work. It's a refresher course. You'll need to meet some of those requirements, and we can still definitely submit your enrollment information to receive an actual Department of Labor or DOL certification. And I'll actually cover some of that in a few moments if you're not sure, maybe not aware of what that may be, but definitely go over that. We do ask for CPR and first aid certifications. You do have to climb, so you do need to be physically fit in order to climb those poles, because they do go up quite a bit. You have, and Manuel will cover some of the tools and equipment needed to actually get up onto that pole. We had a lineman rodeo here in-house where we were having our linemen go out and compete in our training yard just this past June. It was so much fun to watch. The guys are really amazing. It takes so much strength and energy just to get up that pole. And I was sitting there and I told our CEO, I said, I think I can climb that pole. I think I can get up there. And he was like, really? We'll see next year. So I told Manuel, I said, I think I'm going to try it. I'm going to see if I can go at least 2 feet up in the air. And if I can, then one day I'll hit that, that pole at the top. But it's a lot of work. And I will say too, so you do have to have expert climbing skills as an experienced journey lineman. And I will say that this industry is challenging. You definitely have to be available to work nights, weekends, on-call rotations. There's going to be times where you're required to work in extreme heat and extreme cold, winter storm, for example, this summer's heat, the rain we just had recently. And then if everybody remembers Hannah last year, I mean, there was so much that was going on. We've had so many different storms, and just this year has just been entirely crazy with weather. But our operations department that Manuel oversees is just amazing. They have such a really good structure. And I will say that no matter what, they get the job done, and they definitely satisfy our members' needs and any of their wants. So that's always the best thing, is when your member calls in and says, I am so happy, gives kudos to our lineman and saying, thank you for getting my power on. My kids were without, or they had this or that, or whatever their situation may be. But it's always nice at the end of the day when you get that call in.
Joanna.
Yes.
If you don't mind me cutting in, I'm glad you really stressed the fact of the targeted resume, because working with our veteran career advisors, when they're sitting down one-on-one with the veterans and they're creating that their resumes, of course, there's different styles of resumes, and then of course majority of the ones that we work with is the targeted resumes.
Yes.
So when they're working with them, and of course now it's, I look at it also, I'm glad that you stressed the importance of the targeted with some of the requirements, henceforth the journey line worker, because we do work with, or do have some veterans that use the all general purpose resumes, and they're not getting any hits. And as me and you spoke a couple of days ago about how
Yeah.
we want to ensure they put their best foot forward, at least getting their resume looked at to land that interview. So I'm glad you stressed that. Thank you.
Yes, no problem. But and and as James said, it really is important. So if you do meet those requirements, if you do have the matching of the job skills and the experience, definitely make that the top priority. Definitely do highlight your skills in that. On the job questions, that's one of the things that we do look at. So there's just a few. Whenever you apply, it'll ask for a CDL or pretty much of the same information that we have here. You'll definitely see that in a question form. And I always tell everybody, do your best to really elaborate on these, because these are the questions that we do look at as well too. So give us what you got in just your application, and definitely do target some of those areas. So I know I got off topic a moment ago, but for preferred qualifications, we're always going to look at a DOL, which is your Department of Labor certification, and at least 8 years of experience in journey line work. I will say there's a lot of technology that is involved in line work these days. I know a lot of people may not think so, but there really is. You are here at our co-op, and Manuel can actually cover this a little bit more, but our journey linemen use iPads, they use iPhones. We have so many different web platforms that they're working off of. So when they're doing truck inspections, that's one app. When they're submitting their time worked or work orders or whatever the case may be that they're working on, they're looking at different sheets or different applications. So I will say that there is a lot of technology that is involved. You're going to be using various methods and forms. As an electric industry, we are always trying to keep up with technology nowadays, and it's so fast. Everything is just gaining in so many different ways. So I will say that technology and the use of technology is going to completely increase over the next few years. So we do have to have applicants who are willing and ready, or already very capable to have the aptitude of really learning these web-based applications. So I will say in any industry right now, technology is going to definitely be doing a good turnabout. So keep that in the back of your mind at whatever work you decide to do in the near future, whether it be either this area or something different. Technology is a big one right now, so just be prepared for that as well too. So this is just a little bit of an example of some of the qualifications or requirements, experience that we're looking at in an experienced journey line worker. I will say that these are not the only job listings that we will have available next week. By next week, we should have 2 more that are going to come up. They are actually in our metering department. They are called AMI technicians, and AMI is our advanced metering infrastructure. Back in the day, you used to have a meter reader would go out, read your meter. Manuel actually started off with that, I think, if I'm not wrong. And nowadays, everything's just so electronically done. It's all done by computer technology, software. So the position has really evolved into something else. So if you're good with technology, if you're good with electricity or electrical, if you've got any background or experience, when you see that those jobs come up and you're interested or intrigued by it, definitely do reach out, or at least contact or submit a question, a contact form, or I'll have my contact information at the very end of this. Screenshot it, save it, and give us a call if you have any questions about it. But I will say that there's always more to come. The industry is changing, it's evolving. You never know what way we're going to go. But these are the open positions right now. I will say the crew lead is about to close. We have the 2 journey line workers open, and we will also have those 2 AMI technicians posted more than likely by next week. So do keep an eye on it. And again, www.nueceselectric.org. Let's see. Okay, so application process. Once you submit your application, you get all your resume fixed up. You kind of target and highlight your skills and the requirements right there if you meet it. If you are selected for an interview, we will go ahead and correspond with you by email. That's typically just how we send that information. If I don't hear back from someone within a certain time frame, I will go ahead and give a courtesy call. but I will say nowadays everything is done primarily by email. We do conduct interviews virtually and in person. I will say because of COVID, we have not done really too many in-person interviews. Everything is now done actually through Teams, Microsoft Teams. That's how we conduct our interviews. So we do want to still make that connection with the candidate that's applying for this position. We still want to meet you. We want to talk to you and get to know you, see your face a little bit more. That way, we're not just doing anything strictly by telephone. We really want to get to know, who we may be bringing on board, who is going to, come into our NEC family. Because as Manuel and I always say in interviews, we're not only interviewing us, you're interviewing us as well too. Well, I think I said that wrong. We're not interviewing you, you're interviewing us as well. But because too, you want to see, hey, is this company going to be something I'm interested? Is this somewhere I see myself, retiring from? How many employees do they have? What do they've got? There's so many different things that you're looking for too. As we go through this a little bit more, we'll give you some more information on longevity here at the co-op. I really do have to say that I think that's most important. But interviews, of course, they are conducted either virtually or in person, just depending on the time. Once we conduct those interviews, we'll go ahead, select those potential candidates. And then once the candidate is selected at that point, we'll go through extended conditional job offer, and then we go through a whole background screening process. So that background screening process will consist of motor vehicle records check. We'll check your last few employers. We'll check some criminal background, of course, credit history, depending on what position you're going into. I will say that we do have questions every so often that do come up with backgrounds. If you've had something maybe in your past and, maybe something you've overcome or something that may have been quite a while and you're just not sure if you should even apply, I'd always say go for it. You never know. We do look at each application, and if we do extend an offer, we're going to look at that information and see, everything's taken on a case-by-case situation. So you just never know. I just always say, give it your best, give it your all, and we'll kind of work it out from there.
Okay, well, we do have a question from Lori. Lori?
Thank you, James. So this is for Joanne. The background,
Mm-hmm.
and so each background will be looked at on case by case.
Yes.
So, okay, because we do have, I do have a justice involved veteran that lives down in that area that
Mm-hmm.
is interested about this. And I told him I would ask the question. So
Sure.
maybe we could talk on site about that. Um,
Yeah.
and since I took this opportunity to raise my hand and ask a question, I do apologize for the attendees. Um, I was going to instruct everyone to go ahead and put their questions in the chat and we can address them as we go through the event.
Mm-hmm.
But uh, if the attendees, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat, and then we're monitoring the chat and we'll be able to go ahead and ask those questions to the team. And my apologies for the interruption there, Joanne, but when you talked about that, I was like, oh, I got to jump in and ask this question. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, James.
Oh,
No
no
problem.
problem, because I was going to do the same. One of the key things that prior to getting all this started that was one of the questions I asked Joanna. And when she said, oh,
Yes.
yes, we look at it on a case by cases, I put a big asterisk right there and said, this is an awesome company because of the simple fact of what they do is
Mm-hmm.
a very, I'm going to reiterate this over and over again, secure job industry. It's not going to go away. And of course, with veterans, okay, yes, they had a background, but if they're looking at a second chance and they feel, despondent that some companies are not giving them that chance, here is a outstanding company that will look on it as a case by case basis. So at least when they see that, there is that, hope that, okay, they're going to look at it. And if it works, no problem. But if it doesn't, okay, but at least they were given the chance. And I think that is one of the keynotes that I like about what they do.
Thank you, James. I appreciate that. So just to continue on, should anything come up, of course, case by case. Once everything has been completed then and you're fully onboarded, even prior to that, we give you information about the full benefits package. We kind of give you a benefits summary right at the onset of us extending an offer. So that way you can take a look and say, hey, this is what my benefits package is going to be. We include, medical, and then there's your vision and your dental and your supplementals. And then we also have your 401k. And then we also have a pension plan as well too, which a lot of companies have actually done away with, but we still continue to utilize, and we still will. It's a benefit, and I think it's an amazing benefit. There's a lot of other supplementals that you can definitely buy into or opt into as well too, just to secure your retirement. So that's something that's really important, I think, for a lot of us, especially, even for me at my age. But other than that, we're definitely looking into retirement and that longevity, stability, security. And I think nowadays in this day and age, we really need that. So we'll continue on. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of some of our veterans here that are very near and dear to us here at the co-op. So we have 6 veterans right now that are currently employed with us. I'm going to put my cursor over just so I can show you a little bit. So right here, we have one of our veterans as well. He's actually about to be promoted into his higher level apprenticeship. Once we promote him into that level of apprenticeship he's going to be at, he'll probably have about maybe another year, maybe a little over that, just depending on the requirements. And then he'll completely be a full-on journey line worker. He has been going through the program as well for almost the last 4 years, and he's almost at that point to where he can definitely, we call it journey out, and he becomes a full-fledged journey lineman. So it's something that's really, it's a proud moment, I will say, here at the cooperative. And next to him, this is someone we have in our IT department. Just to give you an idea, this is Chris and this is Kevin. I just want you to be a little bit more personal with it. He's actually in our IT department, Kevin, and he's been with us for a short while, but such an amazing man, I have to say, very bright, very enthusiastic. Was a teacher for so long as well too, and decided to say, hey, you know what, this is something else I'm going to try. And honestly, we love having Kevin here. Right here is actually one of our crew leads. He is one of our crew leaders who's been here for many years. Manuel can give you a better estimate of time, but I'm going to say over 30 for sure. This is Albert. He's a journey lineman, but he's also too one of our crew leads. And he runs a crew, pushes that crew, and really gets them going. He's a really good mentor, I have to say. And this is Eli. He's actually our master electrician here at the cooperative. He is actually new to us as well too. Eli served for a while as well. He's so funny. He's very charismatic. I get to know everybody, and I can tell you a lot about everyone here in this photo. And that's just how we are here. We're a small co-op. We only have about 80 employees. We're in the process of hiring a few more people. So I will tell you that we will not max out. We will not max over at 90 here in the electrical side of the cooperative. So hopefully once we have everybody on board and where we need to be, we'll be like about 88 employees. But that's kind of about it. We keep it small. We keep it quaint. We keep it humble. We keep it loyal. Everybody knows everybody. And, once you've worked here for a while, eventually you interact with everybody. So you can get a real good relationship with everyone. This is Jared. Jared's in our IT department as well, too. He's one of our IT technicians. Amazing guy, super funny, always has a joke. So if you want to laugh for the day, you go to Jared. And right here we have Maverick. Maverick is actually new to us as well. He just got into the program, the apprenticeship program that we have here to become a full-fledged journey lineman. Maverick is a former Marine as well too. He just got into the program. He's actually working through our Veterans Apprenticeship Program, and I'll cover that in just a moment. And this is him as well on our Lineman Rodeo Day. So I just wanted to give you an idea of what some of our veterans look like to us, what they mean to us, and how they each serve in a different way here at the co-op, and what they mean to us, because honestly, every single one of our employees means so much to us, but we really do respect and honor our veterans as well, because they have sacrificed so much in order to provide for us as well too. And we pretty much know most of their families as well. So we have a really good relationship with our employees, I will say that. But right now, these are our 6 veterans that we have employed here, and hopefully we'll have a few more. So we'll continue on. Oop. So how we honor our veterans, just want to go over that a little bit more. Every Veterans Day, we shut down our office and we are just completely closed at that point. We shut down to the public. We honor our veterans who have served, not only here at the cooperative, but community-wide as well. Typically every Veterans Day, we go ahead and we recognize everyone. We send out a massive email to all of our employees. We post on our website, on our social media. So Facebook, and then typically our communications affairs specialist, she'll go ahead and set up like a big video and showcase our veterans. And we always do something no matter what. And we always want to acknowledge and recognize our veterans every year, and not just on Veterans Day, but any other time we can. We definitely do that. So we've had so many different articles written about our veterans. We placed it in our Texas Co-op magazines, and we've shared that communication and information with a lot of people too. And in the prior picture, we have our veterans. A lot of times they're part of our committee programs we have. So they'll go out to the schools when we're doing like a back to school drive. So if you ever check our social media or our website, you'll see Chris, the apprentice, at the very top of the screen. On the other slide, you'll see him at the back to school drives, or someone else in another community event. So we do try to highlight and spotlight our veterans in any way that we can when they're available, because I have to say they are very busy. So not that we keep them busy, but they have a very important job that they do here. Okay. So our veterans apprenticeship program here at Nueces. So there's a lot of information you can find on va.gov //education. If you're not too aware of it, I'm pretty sure the majority of you are. You're probably thinking, why is she telling me about this? But because a lot of people actually don't really know about it. So if you go to an employer such as us in this industry, or any other employer that has gone through, I think it's like you can do electrician, plumbing. There's quite a few industries that actually go through the full apprenticeship program. So they're available for veterans that utilize your VA education benefits. So you'll have a full contract. We submit all of the information. There's a full-on enrollment. You are basically reimbursed and you receive stipends, and there's a lot of rewarding benefits to that. I have to say, I am still somewhat new to it. I've only gone through this with one other apprentice. I'm currently working on it with another apprentice who is new to our program, one of our former Marines. So we're working on it and going through the process. I will say it's a lot of details, a lot of paperwork, but the end result is amazing because they do receive their stipends and their lump sums. And I have to say, it really does benefit their family as a whole. We've seen our last apprentice was just so happy that we even got it going, because he wasn't aware that we had something set up to where we went through the VA and the GI portal that we go through, and we submit all their on-the-job training, their enrollment information, and then they will go ahead and contact the apprentice at that time, or the employee, and kind of work them through the process as well. And so it's kind of a partnership that we have. So we both work together in order to really see our apprentice succeed in the apprenticeship program. So if you would like more information, definitely check it out online, or maybe ask one of our liaisons or anybody else who's available here today. So again, I am a little bit new to it, so maybe I didn't come off in the right way. But
no, you explained it well. A lot of our transitioning veterans do get this information prior to getting out, or those that have transitioned out but have not yet used it yet. They are aware of this information, and then of course with our commission, this information is sent out verbatim constantly. So if Mark or Lori want to add on a little bit more to this, you're more than welcome.
I just wanted
Hey,
to
James.
chime. Oh, go ahead, Mark.
I'm sorry, Lori. I know that there were two questions that were in the chat, and one of them
That's
I
where I
kind of
was gonna
already
get to.
answered because you had explained it to me before. And that was Jeremy's question that asked if the positions were in Corpus Christi or the San Antonio area. And
that's
so, Joanna, I
specifically the
believe that currently they're just
compliance.
still in the Corpus Christi area, correct?
Yes, that's where we're located, and our territories are around. So this is pretty much our hub in this area.
Roger that. And then I know Lori had an excellent question too.
Okay.
And Lori's question was,
I'm
what if a
sorry. I thought
veteran,
you were going to read my question. Please, I apologize.
what if a veteran is also a full-time student?
Mhm.
Are there shifts to work around their school schedules?
That one's a little bit tougher, I will say, just depending on the hours and their classwork. So we do have some who do go to school, but a lot of times it's either online or in the evening, so it doesn't affect it as much. We definitely do give as much leeway as we can, but in particular positions, because our co-op is primarily a full-time basis, we will schedule what we can and we'll definitely work around what we can. But I will say we definitely do keep a tight ship of our regularly working hours of our schedule. So Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 or 7:30 to 3:30 or however our schedule is. But that one's a little tough. I have to say it would just kind of depend. And again, case by case.
Good, good, good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Oh, let me go back real quick. So I know I had talked a little bit earlier about our Department of Labor Apprenticeship Program. So some of this information, and Manuel, I think, will touch base on it as well too, because what I'm going to do is give it over to Manuel and have him kind of go over the job, the challenges. I want you to really get to know him because I will say he is outstanding. We have a great working relationship. He's so great here at the co-op and he's been here so long, and I really think that you'll get a good feel. Manuel is actually also the chair of our apprenticeship committee. So it's a really important position here at the co-op, especially for our operations and our apprenticeship program. So it really is important, but just to touch base on it for a little bit. Obviously, any job you get into, you're typically on a probationary introductory period, either from 3 to 6 months. Some people even have it 30 days, 90 days, a full year, whatever the case may be. For us, it's 6 months. 6 months will kind of, get you introduced into the field, into the work environment, to the knowledge, and kind of get you ready to go. You have a checklist. You'll have to be supported and observed pretty much by an experienced journey lineman the whole time. You'll be under somebody who's going to be watching you, training you, mentoring you. And then after the 6 months, they feel you're ready, they'll recommend that you go ahead and get into the program. You'll have to write out a letter either by, on form or by email. I'll personally get that, and then we'll go ahead and start that acceptance into the program. We as a committee, we meet, we vote on it. We have standards of apprenticeship that we look at. We go through Northwest Lineman College, their coursework and their apprenticeship program. So they have very specific set of standards that we follow. We have our own guidance that we go through as well too. But pretty much we follow their structure. So it's typically anywhere between a 4 to 5 year apprenticeship program. And it's just the same thing. Apprentice 1 is a year 1, Apprentice 2, level 2, Apprentice 3, level 3, and it just kind of goes up. After apprenticeship, your Apprentice 4, you typically should journey out at that, right when after you hit your 4th year. So on your 5th year mark, that typically should be when you journey out. But sometimes it may take a little longer for some people. Maybe there was a mishap, maybe books weren't ordered, maybe they needed extra time. There's a lot of different variables that go into this. But you have book work, you have coursework, you have trainings you go to. Manuel sets up a lot of trainings here as well too. There's all this, OGT hours that need to be submitted. In order to advance a level, you have to successfully meet all the information and requirements. And then at the very end, right when you're done, you're your 4th year, you've completed everything, you really knocked it out of the park. We're confident that you're going to be a great journey line worker. We'll submit your information to the Department of Labor. We've got set up with them. You'll receive your certificate, a plaque, and I guess you could say a trophy, but not really. I don't know what it is, statue. And it's a really big moment here at the co-op, and we definitely do feature that information as well, and that apprentice who has journeyed out. So on the next page, you'll see here, this was our most recent apprentice who had journeyed out. This is Tate. Tate actually moved away just recently to go be with his family, but we put him through the full apprenticeship program. He stayed with us for quite a long time. He has his, you can see his office, his apprenticeship certificate of completion. He's got his statue there. I mean, it was a really big moment for someone who goes through the program entirely. I will say though that our program requirements have changed a little bit. So if you do come on board, we do have you sign a specific agreement now that after we put so much time, energy, and I will say financially, we support you, we back you up. We just ask that you stay with us an additional 2 years just to kind of, round it out at that point. So I will say there's a lot that goes into these programs. We sit on committees. We do so much just to make sure that, you're succeeding in every which way. So how to contact us. This is my information. You can contact me. You can email me. You can go to the contact information page on our website, nueceselectric.org, and really give us that information. So if you have any questions, let us know. Let me know. I'm actually going to pass this information on to Manuel now. He's probably like, what am I going to say? You talk the whole time. But James could probably spark that conversation, or Mark, or Lori. But
oh, most definitely, most definitely. I'm gonna let him speak. Then I'm gonna pick his brain about his longevity.
Yes. So I'll go ahead and pass it on. If y'all have any questions, again, please let me know. If I didn't cover anything, I do apologize, but we have a ton of information on our website, our About Us. You can look at our staffing, a lot of different events and community things that we support too. But we have a really good co-op here, a really good, we're part of the community, and we definitely have, our employees who've been with us for so long. So I'll go ahead and mute myself and allow James and Manuel to speak now. Thank you.
All right, well, just now, I'm going to give it to, once again, a definite, confirmed subject matter expert, Manuel. Go ahead, Manuel.
Thank you, James. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank everyone for their service. We definitely appreciate everyone in the military here at Nueces Electric. I'd like to add that while I have no military experience, I do have a son that he is in the Army. He's currently active. Been there 6 years, going on 7. He's a cavalry scout. I'm very proud of him, both me and my wife. And this is definitely an industry that I always encourage him to look into, but my son has his own ideas. But no, this industry, I started here at Nueces Electric at entry level as a meter reader, September 11th, 1990. And I've been here ever since. I never thought about leaving. Some of the characteristics that were in me that I see in a lot of applicants, applicants with military experience: self-motivation, discipline, hard work, team-orientated. Those are things that really stand out. Attention to detail, and then of course, the basics: punctual, and you got to be dependable. And definitely there is advancement here, and nothing comes easy. It comes with a lot of hard work. Currently, I've been here 31 years, and I am still hoping to continue my career here. I'm happy, just like all the industries, nothing's easy. Sometimes it's easy, and then sometimes there's hard work. So, and that's why I say we cannot be intimidated by hard work here. We definitely don't get any rainouts. That's when our crews work the most. And that's why, it's one of the characteristics of a good lineman is discipline, because whenever, the weather's not cooperating, the job might not be going the way it's planned out. You have to stay focused. You have to stay disciplined. You have to follow your safety rules, and, you have to identify hazards. And, it's about everybody going home at the end of the day. But James, if you have any specific questions you'd like for me to cover on this industry, I'd be more than glad to.
Well, yes. Basically, you just hit a lot of the key points on what our veterans go through from day one basic training to however many years that they enlist for, maybe at 4, 6, 8, or sometimes even 10, 12. When they get out, those are some of the things that are still instilled into them when they transition out. And then, of course, with what you just said, how you work with alongside veterans and you see that. And I'm kind of going to go out on a limb and probably say make your job a little bit easier, because when they come to work, they come to work. And basically, correct. Yeah, and basically with your industry, I can't stress it enough. It is basically job security. With your 50+ year contract with Kingsville and Corpus, that in itself is outstanding. And then, of course, what you do. But I would like for you to stress the point of not only are you working here are you able to go outside to a different state, hence like what happened in Louisiana this past few weeks?
Yes, that is a good question. So yes, we do offer what we call mutual aid to other utilities in the state of Texas and then bordering states like Louisiana. So currently, we did not send a crew at this time for Ida because we were preparing one, and then we when we respond to the call of mutual aid, our our provider here, Texas Electric Cooperative, said that they had enough help, so they didn't want to overwhelm. Even though there was multiple outages, they didn't want to send too many crews. So what they call on deck, and if a crew needed to rotate out, then we are up on deck to respond. So, but we do help other utilities. We do respond as long as it takes to get the power on. We rotate our crews. We can send construction crews. We send service 2-man service trucks. Whatever the need from that particular utility, that's what we provide.
Outstanding, outstanding. If a veteran is going through the award, the apprentice trainee program, what support services do they have if they're kind of like Joanna hit it upon, where they're kind of struggling a little bit and taking longer than normal? What support do they receive as far as to help them assist to get through the program?
Definitely a good question. So every apprentice will have once the employee makes apprentice level, he's going to have a sponsor, and he can communicate with that sponsor and ask for help. We have plenty of tutoring, whether it's I'll use what I went through the program myself, and my weakness was math, algebra. I reached out to my sponsor, and he was able to coordinate some tutoring with our engineering department, and it helped me pass my test. But that has to there's got to be communication. You have to call. You don't be embarrassed to ask for help. And then again, the help sometimes is after hours, so you have to be flexible. But the help is definitely there.
Great, great. I don't have anything further. If Mark or Lori has anything that they may want to add, or if there's any additional questions in the chat.
Thank you, James. I do appreciate that. Manuel, I know when I was looking through some of your information and on LinkedIn, it talks a little bit about your lineman to lineman players. What is that?
So, good question, Mark. What that is, and this was the first year that we did that. So we know that on a football team, the least appreciated player is your offense or defensive lineman, because I know that because I played high school sports, and I
Yes.
felt that way. And then working for a utility, our team, our linemen, sometimes they feel that way because we never get any kudos, or well, we do get kudos, but we rarely get them. Most of the time is, hey, when is my electricity going to come on, and what's taking so long? So what we did is, we said, what, it's a good idea. We're going to spotlight a high school lineman from a local football team, and then also spotlight one of our cooperative linemen, and put it out there and give them a little bit of glory, and that's it's working out really great.
Yes, I see that on LinkedIn, and that's a really good touch of y'all giving back to your employees and recognizing them, which is always makes a difference with the retention of employees. So good job.
Thank you.
Do you have anything, Lori?
Not for Manny. Well, kind of. I was like, when he was talking about his 30 years with the company, and I was like, wow, he could have retired from the military and plus had a 10 extra years of employment.
Yes.
But no, that's a long time to serve with the company. So you are definitely a pillar for Nueces Electric Cooperative. So, and
Thank you.
you should be a proud military dad. So
Thank you.
we'll keep your son in prayers to keep him safe. The only other thing I have for the group is that in the chat, I did post a survey link for the attendees. Would love for the attendees to complete it. It shouldn't take more than, I'd say, 10 seconds, um, depending how much you want to type in the survey. So that there is in the chat box. Just click on the link, before you depart for today, and let us have some feedback. So that's all I have, James. And again, thanks, Joanna and Manny. You guys are amazing.
And before I close out, I just want to say I cannot be thankful enough to have Joanna and Manuel volunteer their time to share their great information. I found this company just totally outstanding with the small family-like atmosphere, and of course their love to hire a veteran and support the veteran and recognize the veteran, and of course their program within itself. I mean, it's set up to basically not only just the veteran, just anybody who wishes to be a part of their company. They're there for them. And just speaking with Joanna about a month or so ago, prior to setting this up, I'm not knocking anybody who received a college degree, but we always tend to forget the trade industry. And with their apprentice program, it's the same 4 year, and if you're a veteran, you either do it through the VA or the program within itself. And not only are you a 4 year journey lineman, you're debt free. And considering that where you've graduated, I'm sure the hourly rate is pretty nice, you
Mhm.
know. And then of course the overtime, but on the flip side of that is you're going to earn your pay. you know you're going to work in the rain, you're going to do things that some days you're not going to want to come to work, but that's just everything. But with this company, like I said, it's a very, very friendly, family oriented company. And when Joanna says that she knows everybody, that is something that I would like to hear if I was transitioning out of the military. That wow, they really want to know their people, and they definitely support the veterans. So once again, Joanna and Manuel, thank you for participating in this employer event, and we hope to have you sometime do it again in the near future.
Sure. Thank you so much for having us.
All right. With that being said, we're going to close out if there's anything else. And other than that, everyone, thank you once again and have a great day. All information will be provided afterwards. And like Lori said, please fill out that survey. Thank you. And y'all have a great, safe day.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joanna.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Manuel. Great
Goodbye.
job, James. Great job, Lori. Thank you.